Next up, here's part 2 of that conversation. You're going to love this. Thanks for joining us on The Rebuild.
And once that something did change and you, as you mentioned, now you're considering policy development and you're really interested in having a seat, probably bringing your own seat to the table at that point, right? And like some people made some space for you. I'd love to know, like, what were the, because I feel like it doesn't all happen at one time, but they're like little flickers that tell you you're on the right track, or like, was there a feeling? Was there what were the signs then that let you know that you were on the right path? That policy development and marrying that with your political science background and your public service. What was the sign that you were on the right track?
Well, we often talk about in policy windows of opportunity,
Mm-hmm.
right? So all the all the stars aligned,
Yeah.
and so you have an idea, then you have the funding for the idea, and you
Mm-hmm.
have people that are supporting the idea, and all of that comes together, and that's what I call a win. And that
Mm-hmm.
started to happen in succession for me. I would have an
Mm-hmm.
idea and someone would say, "Oh, that sounds great. You should, further, design it out. What's the strategy? How would we do it?" And then I
Mm-hmm.
would move forward with that piece and they're like, "Okay, great. Um, how are we going to fund it? How much is it going to cost?" And I started getting very real about talking about how much it would cost, right? And they said, "Okay, we'll find the money." And then we found the money. And now here we are executing my idea in my community and seeing people
Wow.
impacted by that. That
Yeah.
is a tremendous feeling when you raise $1 million,
Wow.
$2 million to execute on a program, right? That's saving and changing young people's lives. That if
Yeah.
I not raise my voice, they wouldn't have that opportunity. It's really, it's an empowering, it's a powerful feeling. You're like, well, what else can I do?
Mm-hmm.
What else is available?
So if we're thinking about that, like you brought that into our awareness and we're thinking about that, what was, how did you get to now writing the book? Because now there's signs, there are windows of opportunity that are happening that make you say, you know what, I need to put this into a book. I need to talk about the audacity of becoming.
Right.
So tell me a little bit about that.
I will. So the book came about um, at the beginning of this year. I had set a goal that I wanted to do a TED Talk. And everyone knows TED Talk. We've watched. Well, I found out that not everybody knows TED Talk.
Right, right.
And they were like, "What's a TED Talk?" I said, "You really have to Google this and then call me back later. We'll talk about it." But I've watched TED Talks, and when I was on the road, right, traveling all around the world, I would watch TED Talks, and I'm like, "Wow, that felt like something for other people.
Mm.
That
Oh,
felt like
that's good.
something for very smart people, very experienced people, very accomplished people." Now, I've spent
Mm.
all this time, Tiffany, sharing with you my experience, my accomplishments, my education, and I didn't see myself in that class of people.
Right, 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 right.
And
Wow.
then I decided I want to be one of those people, and I'm going
Mm.
to do the research and find out how I can do that. And the universe is, is powerful. We get back
Yes,
powerful.
absolutely, absolutely.
Once you say you are going to do something, once you declare with all of your heart that you have decided that you want to accomplish something, the world conspires to make it happen. Not 1 week after declared that I want to do a TED Talk, I said, this year. 1 week later, I received an invitation to apply to do a TED Talk at
Wow.
at my school that I graduated
Wow.
from. They said,
Oh my
we are hosting
goodness.
TEDx. Here's the application. I start to fill out the application, and when I press submit, and it's a lengthy application process, how do you summarize your life's work into 250 words?
Right.
That's pretty much what it asks. And why are you the person most qualified to share this information? And I ate that up, Tiffany.
Wow. I believe it. I believe it.
I had a glass of wine. I sat at the dining table and I ate it up. I was ready. The time was now.
Hmm.
And when I hit submit, it didn't go through.
Oh, what happened?
Come to find out, the deadline had passed like 2 days before.
Mm.
Now, did I let that stop me? I said, oh no, that is not going to stop me. I have to call the manager. There's somebody that I could speak to.
Right.
And I did. And I shared with them, that person, a synopsis of the talk I wanted to do. And I said, I don't know what had happened, but this is my synopsis. I'm real. I'm serious about this thing. They read it and they said, okay, we will give you until Monday morning to submit it and get it all in. And out of 75 applicants, I was chosen and was told it was one of the strongest applications. But wait, it gets better.
Yeah.
I wait a month to hear to get that selection call. And they said, oh, congratulations, you're selected. The talk is next week.
Oh my goodness.
So I gave a proposal. I didn't give a completed talk. So in 1 week, I had to write it, revise it, memorize it, no teleprompter, no notes.
Wow.
And drive up there and give it.
That is amazing. And I know that you did. I know that you gave it the way that it needed to be given. I already know.
Everything in me said, well, you could say no. You could say, I don't have enough time. I need more time to prepare. I'll do this. They said you could come back at the end of the year if you'd like to and apply again. But I'm like, the window of opportunity is open right now. I declared that this was my dream, that I wanted this to happen, and it's in my hand.
Mm.
So you gotta rise to the occasion and do this thing.
Yeah. Yeah.
And so I did, and I was so afraid. And when I arrived at the venue, I found out that everyone else on the program, there were 8 other people speaking that night. There were 9 of us in total. Guess what? They were all afraid too. So the fear wasn't unique to me. Everyone was afraid.
Right.
Everyone felt like they wished they had more time. And I found out that people did have different lengths of time to prepare. Some people had 2 months to prepare. I don't know why I only had 1 week, but that's how it was. And I said, okay, guess what? You get up on the stage, give it your best shot, do what you can, and that's all you have. Take your shot. Shoot your shot.
Yeah.
And it turned
I think this idea about the window of opportunity has shown up in your life and in this conversation. And I wonder, where else have you had these windows of opportunity that have presented themselves to you? Whether it's career, relationship, wherever in your life.
Sure. I mean, it does lead into where you've been taking me to the book, right? I'd also had a goal of writing a book, right? One day I would write a book, and many people have heard me talk about my story, and they're like, oh, you need to write a book. And it felt like something, again, that very smart, another class of people that I'm not included in get to do. And after the talk, several people came up to me and they said, "Oh my God, I was really inspired by the talk. I love what you said. You were able to share what I have felt so many times, doubting myself and my ability to lead. How did you become audacious?" And that's where I said, I have some work to do here.
Mm-hmm.
And that's where the idea for creating this workbook came from. How does one become audacious? Because it's certainly not overnight, right?
Right.
I've just taken you through 25 years of my life, right? Really, really quickly. And 25, overnight success is 25 years, right?
Yeah.
Worth
Yeah.
of striving, struggling, doubt, distractions, and but not giving up on your North Star, right? Not giving up on your vision, that thing that Rick Ross, that thing that keeps you up at night when everyone else is asleep and you're like, I can't go
Yeah.
to sleep. You have that thing on your mind, that thing in your heart that you know you want to do, but for some reason there's so many things in the way. And so that's what the book really speaks to. It says you are ready enough, and no one is going to give you permission to do any of this.
Powerful. That's a powerful, powerful, powerful understanding around this book. Yeah. What do you want your readers to know about, as we segue into more of your leadership? What do you want your readers who are focused on career to know about the audacity of becoming, and how you've applied that to your career? How do you apply that to your leadership style, and your leadership experiences?
I think so many people, Tiffany, are waiting for a moment to happen for them. And what I have learned now is that you have to create the whole experience. You have
Yeah.
to curate the entire trajectory. You design it. You tell people how to address you. You tell
Yeah.
people where you're going. You tell people what you're going to do next. Right? We often talk about, we enroll, and then you enroll the people into your vision. My current role that I was just promoted into did not exist. I created it. I designed it.
Wow.
I said, I want to become this. And it didn't exist. And that didn't mean that I needed to leave and go find it. I designed it and created it in place, enrolled leadership into understanding why we needed that role. Let them believe that it was their idea to create it, and then competed against the market for it.
Wow. Wow, I love that. I think that I wish more leaders did that. I wish more people did that. Just being intentional about where they want to go in their career and what they want to do, and realizing that the moment that they get real clear, they get serious clarity, and they get very intentional about whatever their desire is the moment that it will start to happen for them. I think that is, sometimes I think people think it's woo woo and it applies to just certain parts of your life, and they don't realize how much that applies to business and leadership. And listen, for me, I think that this is how businesses are created. Like someone said, I think we should be able to carry all the music in the world on our phone.
Right.
You know,
Wouldn't it
someone
be
said,
cool if we could call a private car to come pick us up right now?
Absolutely. Absolutely. And it was just an idea and they were intentional about it. I think that I should be able to order food and have it come to my home.
Right.
Or, just so
I
many
wish
different
I could
things. And I
myself
think that,
a bedroom in my apartment and make money off of it.
right, right. So it's so interesting that, for some reason, there are some times when we don't think that that intentionality and that declaration really lands for very specific parts of business and very specific dreams and goals and aspirations that we have. And I love that this is something that you have applied to your life and that it's worked so well.
And I want to teach people that they have the power to do that within their own life, and not just for their career, but for the relationship you want, whether it be romantic or with your family, for the life that you want to live, right? Like, I don't want to discount, even though I'm not doing that today. I was like, I want to travel the world, and not just for weekends or for 2 weeks at a time. I want to go live in another country. I want to be paid to live
Yeah.
in another country. And I want to spend a significant amount of time there doing something that I am passionate about, that I love. And I accomplished that. I did that. And even after doing that, I was still doubting the power of my own intentionality. And I don't know if it was something about becoming a mother. Becoming a mother has been the most empowering experience. Because
Yeah.
then I realized I am the CEO of this person's life. I am the CEO of my life. So I could be the CEO of anything.
Yeah. 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 That's pretty amazing.
And I'm going to show up in that way. And I cannot fail, right? As a mother, you can't fail. My sister asked me early on, she said, "Don't you get tired?" I was like, "It's really not an option." Like, I don't ever get tired of my arm.
Right.
I can't. I'm just tired of this arm today. I'm gonna take it off.
Right.
It's okay.
Right.
You got to deal with it, and that's the
Right.
same with a child, right? It's like I, I gotta work with it. I have to be.
Yeah.
I'm her life.
Right. Absolutely. Absolutely.
That taught me another level of like patience and grit and just really belief in myself.
Yeah. Yeah. What is your I'm going to come back to this one question
Sure.
that I have that I really want to I want to dig into just a little bit. I won't forget.
Hmm.
But for your in leadership, um, what can, let's say, because I know you're managing teams and you're directing people and this, that, and the next. What steps, what tangible action steps can an employee um, take or should an employee take to getting to that next level, getting to the position that they dream about, getting to the role or the level that they really want to be at? Like, what's a very tangible action step that they can take?
That's a great question, Tiffany. This is an activity that I do with every person on my team. I meet with them individually, and I ask them, "What is the life that you dream about?
Yeah.
What do you want? What have you been doing here at work? What's part of your job description? And then what are all the extra things that are not in your job description that you do? And of those things, what do you enjoy doing? And what do you wish you did not have to do?" And surprisingly, most people that I meet with, that is like a really overwhelming activity. That is a very overwhelming conversation. And I have sat with people that have been in their role for 10, 15, 20 years, and they are flustered.
Yeah.
One, no one has ever asked them that.
Right. Right.
Two, they haven't even thought about it. They're on
Mm.
autopilot, and they don't think that what they want actually matters to anyone. And what I say to them is like, it actually doesn't even matter to you because you haven't thought about it, written it down. And I am authentically interested in hearing this. Like, I've blocked out 90 minutes for you and me to just talk about this.
Yeah.
And most times they are squirming and ready to go. They're like, can I get out of here?
Right. Right. Right.
But then, once I walk them through the steps of it, they get so excited. They're like,
Hmm.
wow. I'm like, and they have great ideas, and it's not always about not everyone wants to become a traditional leader. Not everyone is looking for promotion
Right.
because they have other responsibilities in their life,
Absolutely. Absolutely.
work-life balance that they have. But what I impress upon them is that, and what I impress upon this audience is that you want to be a leader in your own life. You want to become the CEO of your life. You don't want to live a life where you're just going along to get along
Right. Absolutely.
and
Absolutely.
always dreaming about going on that luxurious vacation or writing
Hmm.
or making those t-shirts or, you know, all types of things. So sometimes people say, oh, I'm not really creative. And then they share with me, oh, but I love decorating my family's events. I'm like, that's very creative.
Yeah.
Actually a business if you wanted it to be a business. And they're like, oh, I never thought about it like that. I just thought
Mm.
it's something that I do in service to my family because I'm the auntie or the sister or. But I said, but if you really respect what it is that you bring to your family, to an event, to the world, you would see this so differently.
Yeah.
And that
Yeah, that is so true.
it
That is so true. Oh,
um
I'm sorry. Say that again.
it may shifts happens. Shift happens. You can be very unengaged in your life. And the saddest thing in life is like wasted talent. The
Absolutely.
life unlived. And I was at an event recently, and do you know the woman? She's a major marketing guru, and Bozama,
Yeah.
and she
Yeah.
said,
Bozema St. John. Hmm.
yes, she said, and it was powerful.
Hmm.
I don't want to just live the length of my life. I want to also live the width of my life.
Mm. Wow.
And I think most people are just getting through versus
Mm.
fully like embodying everything that's possible for them. Even if you fail. And what's a failure anyway, Tiffany?
Exactly. Exactly.
It
If
didn't
more
quite
people realize that, yeah.
it doesn't quite work out like you expected, but at least you did it.
Right. And now you have the experience and you have the learned knowledge. Yeah, absolutely.
And instead of seeing that as that failure as your identity, which I get into in the book, it's just data. It's just you use that, you leverage that as a learning experience. And
Yeah.
and you everything is malleable. Every story, every experience. Was it good? Was it bad? I don't know, but it happened and I get to decide how it lives in my memory, and how
Yeah,
I experience it in my present and in my future.
absolutely.
And that's
Absolutely.
where we have agency to empower ourselves. And we don't use it.
Carrie, you are 100% correct. I completely agree with you. You and I have done work around this together, and so we know that people do. We have agency, and we let so many things um, take our attention and distract us, and we numb ourselves in so many ways, and we dumb down ourselves in so many ways, so as not to really feel and experience the fullness of life often. And thinking about this fullness of life and thinking about these dreams unfulfilled, my last question is, what is the dream that you have for your daughter?
Ah, so good. Um, I want my daughter to feel the weightlessness of pursuing anything that comes to her mind.
Yeah.
I don't have, like, I want my daughter to be a doctor. I want my daughter to be a lawyer, I want her to feel free to choose what other path comes to her mind and not think of the barriers first. Oh, I'm a woman. Oh, I'm a black woman. Oh, I'm from a, single parent household. We may not have all the resources. I want to just be like, I'm doing this thing.
Yeah.
That's what
Yeah.
I want for my daughter, to just play with life, to just go out there into the ocean and swim.
Yeah. Yeah, I love that. I feel similarly. I feel similarly. That is a big part of my dream for my daughter,
Mm.
that she has options and she chooses them. She chooses from all the options that she has. And that's why I work hard. I work hard to make those options available so that there is no barrier to success, right? So that the window of opportunity is a little bit wider. Um, so I totally agree with you on that one. Totally agree with you on that one. And we couldn't have ended at a better point. Carrie, I can't thank you enough for joining us and being here with us today at the Rebuild. Tell us, where can everyone find you? How can they keep in touch? Give us your handles. Tell us.
Tiffany, this was great. I could sit here and talk to you all night. You're so good. Um, the best way to get in touch with me is on LinkedIn. Follow Carrie Torres on LinkedIn. And that's part of my process, right? Better done than perfect. I thought I wasn't going to release the book until I had the perfect website set up. And I said, no, that it'll all come together step by step. You
Yes.
can always find me on LinkedIn, DM me. I'm very accessible. I also take on a limited amount of one-on-one coaching clients. And so for now, that's where you can go.
I love it. Thank you so much. And thank you, Rebuild family. Thank you for joining us. I hope that you will comment and subscribe and like this episode, and definitely share this episode. Share it with an employee who is ready, someone you know who's ready to pivot and go to the next level in their career, in their life. Share it with a young grad who wants to do something different. We definitely want to see more people really understanding um, politics and policy, We need some dreamers who are ready to shake things up and change things. So be sure to share this episode with someone you care about. And thank you so much for joining me. Thank you, Carrie. Have a good one, everyone.
Bye-bye.